Hi, I'm Dr. Hamish Curry, and welcome to the Just About Business series. And today I'm going to be going through just about dealing with negative behavior. We all come across negative behavior, we often use it ourselves, and we must try and get out of that habit and try and work with things and get everything as we can, as positive as we can. When you're dealing with negative behavior, whether it be at work or at home, it can be solved in 3 steps. First one, get to the heart of the matter. What is the actual core problem? Determine what problem solving matters to avoid. And you notice that what solving matters to use, it's actually which ones to avoid. They're the most critical. Choose a different, surprising approach to solve the problem and keep it solved. So we don't want to just patch over and keep it a little bit. We want to solve the problem. We need to look at one of the biggest problems that we have is that our difficult behavior gets reinforced. So people often get stuck in a problem because they choose a solution that doesn't work, not realizing that the wrong solution just prolongs the problem. Problems disappear when the focus is shifted from the ineffective way solutions rather than the original problem. So you want to actually look and see what's causing the hiccup and actually work through it. Let's see what can we do and how can we do it differently. A lot of the time, the problem that we have is that we actually get in the way of change. We're part of this problem, not part of the solution. So we try reasonable solutions that don't work, and we keep reinforcing those. If a person doesn't change, we continue doing more of the same that's not working, and wonder why nothing actually changes and how we can go about it. We do not establish what the primary problem is. We go around and start looking at other issues and things. We are not specific enough to analyze the problem. We have been doing the same thing about the problem so far. We don't analyze the logic of our favorite solution. So a lot of the times we've got a favorite solution and we keep going through it. We don't workshop or brainstorm enough to have a look and see what we can do. We don't analyze what we need to do to undo our ineffective solutions. So a lot of the time it's because of what we've actually done. We attack with a brand new set of weapons before establishing the effectiveness of the current process that we're using. So we quite often are too fast to want to change things, or we go into it and say, oh, we've got this preconceived idea, let's do this, and yeah, this is going to work. And then when it doesn't work, we're quite surprised. Oh, it must be somebody else's fault, because that's what we're doing, and that should happen. We need to focus on the heart of the matter. So we need to list the issues that are affecting us and decide which issues is affecting the most. Decide who in particularly is bothering you the most. And quite often you'll see with these things that it's actually a personality thing, not actually a problem with a particular set of things. So you need to work through that. Encircle the issue or the person's name on a list so you can actually look at it and say, Joe Smith, that's the problem, and this is why. You need to focus on what you circled and list all the things that bother you about the issue or the person. What is actually causing the problem? Is it just purely a personality clash, or is it something you can overcome and work through, and what can we do to solve the problem? Now prioritize the problem to work on it and get started. That's what we need to be. We need to constantly avoid meeting dead ends. So we must write down our comments, see if we're describing premature solutions that aren't actually problems. If that solution worked, what problem would fix it? Then ask yourself again, who does what to whom, and how is it a problem? So we need to look at those and get into the nitty-gritty of it and actually work through. We also need to make sure that we're taking the lead. Identify my theme, what are we doing? List all the ways that you've tried to get someone to change the behavior. Make sure that you've listed the behaviors and not just labels. Oh no, he's an idiot. Is not something that you can actually work with. He does this and he doesn't do this and he doesn't think about that. So you list them. Ask yourself, what am I trying to get through to this person? Once you've recognized your theme, you will know what to avoid when you pick the issue up and start working with it. Remember to take full responsibility for your actions, your choices, and your life. You made it this way. If you're happy, keep going. If not, then choose to do something about it. And one of the things that I start looking at here is when I start going through with people, there's a common sense solution. And I always say there's always a common sense solution, but look for the ones first that don't work. What we need to do is understand what it is that's not going to work. There are generally 5 ineffective solutions. We keep on telling people, we urge you to change. We repeatedly do it. We try and talk them into liking our requests. we keep going that way. We demand that people tell us that we're right. Using the indirect approach. Using the indirect approaches are, we hint about what they should change. We make a general comment to everyone instead of speaking to the actual individual. We avoid the person entirely. We need to change those. The art of the direct approach requires you to stick to the facts. You must stick to your facts. Consider the timing and staging. You've got to be very careful on the way you do certain things. You've got to stage it correctly. Be prepared for the other person's surprise. When you tell somebody that they're an idiot and you can back it up with proof, they quite often are quite surprised. And then your fifth one is, try to conquer your fear with endless preparation. Amazing amount of times that we do that. We're worried about something, so we go prepare for it, go back, prepare for it, come back, we prepare for it, and actually just get on, do it. You can make a mistake, that's fine. We learn from our mistakes. That's the way life is. We must always be aware of the fact that we must not be afraid to start over again. It's a chance to build something better this time, and we always need to look at that. We can always build something better. Always remember that denying the truth doesn't change the facts. And I start looking here and I go through what we need to do when we're looking at negative behavior is we need to be looking at doing the opposite, the unexpected, the outrageous, and the ordinary. And it's one of those situations where you need to look at where you want to start small when you're doing the unexpected by looking at the options that are outside of your normal comfort zone, thinking outside the box and considered off-limit solutions. Always question the advice that you have been given. Stop doing more of the same when looking at a problem. It's always in your benefit to look outside the box and see if there's a different solution, because unfortunately we do the same thing and we make the same mistakes and we keep living the same. And always never ruin an apology with an excuse. And that's me, Dr. Hamish Curry, and I hope you enjoyed this session on negative behavior, and I hope you learned something. And I'll be back again with a Just About Business series. And if you want more information about us, please go to www.justaboutg.co.za or go to the Just About Business on YouTube, or just go to Just About Business on LinkedIn. Subscribe, join us, become a member. We do coaching sessions, and you'll love joining the group. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.